Hi, I'm Juliet. I'm from Stonewall. We work nationally and internationally to achieve equality for lesbian, gay and bisexual people. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the research and resources that Stonewall has conducted around hate crime in the UK. In 2013, we conducted some research around lesbian, gay and bisexual people's experiences of hate crime in the UK. I'm just going to outline the key findings. There were 1 in 6 people that had experienced an incident or crime in the last 3 years, which is obviously quite widespread. 1 in 10 of these had been a violent assault, and unfortunately almost 3/4 didn't report this to the police, and 2/3 told no one. You can see there's a really widespread problem with underreporting amongst the lesbian, gay and bisexual community when it comes to hate crime. And also a low confidence in the police and judicial system to take things seriously. Although the research didn't include the trans community, we know from conversations that they have an equally bad experience of dealing with the police in the past, and combined with that, they have a fear of outing themselves in their community, and also a fear of further victimisation, which means that reporting from the trans community is even lower than the lesbian, gay and bisexual community. How many homophobic and transphobic incidents are there, and what's the picture like now since we conducted the research in 2013? 2013 to 14, the police recorded over 4,000 homophobic incidents and only 555 transgender hate crimes. In the last year, there's been an 8% rise in reported incidents of sexual orientation hate crimes, and a 54% rise in reported transphobic hate crimes across England and Wales. Unfortunately, this is probably only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what's actually happening out there. The government estimates that the real figure could be something around 40,000 incidents per year, so only about 10% are being reported at the moment. The work that we've done has been about encouraging people to report, and I'm just going to talk through one of the resources that we've created at Stonewall. Actually, before that, I'm just going to talk specifically about London. London has about a quarter of recorded hate crime incidents. There's obviously more of an awareness of what hate crime is, and people are more likely to report than in other cities or parts of the UK. There can be violent incidents around LGBT club venues, such as in Vauxhall. There was an incident in Hackney in 2013, which was recently reported in The Independent, about a gay man's experience of being attacked when he was with his partner, and the lack of support they had from the police in following that up. The resources we've created are aimed at encouraging people to report. This includes a 10 reasons why you should report guide, which I've brought along with me and which is being translated into Polish. And we also produced a series of posters which were cross-strand for hate crime, which could be used in pubs and clubs, places of worship, and obviously in police stations to encourage people to report hate crime. I guess the guide is about why people should report. Hate crime isn't just about violent assault, it's also about verbal abuse or intimidation. And obviously that's wholly unacceptable based on who people are. There is a chance for a decision to report might prevent the perpetrator from committing similar or more serious hate crimes targeting other members of the community. Reporting hate crime, as you've outlined, can be easy. You can do that through the police or through third-party reporting services, or through an organisation like Gallup, which is London-based, which many of you might know about. I've also got some of their material with me if anyone wants some of it at the end. Police will then obviously decide whether to caution or charge an individual with a hate crime, and then if the case goes ahead, the Crown Prosecution Service will take this on, and we've worked alongside Victim Support and other organisations to make sure that the Crown Prosecution Service deals sensitively and appropriately with LGBT hate crime. And then if obviously there's enough evidence, then the prosecution will happen. So in conclusion, I'd like to reiterate the importance of reporting hate crime. The more reporting that there is and the more data that we have, the better the services, strategies and policies that government and other agencies, such as the police, will have to put in place. It's also essential to show wider society that incidents like harassment abuse are taken seriously in tackling homophobia more widely. I would say that there isn't an in-depth understanding of how migrant communities are impacted by hate crime at the moment in the UK, but perhaps that's an area of research that someone could take on in the future, which I think would be of interest. In 2015, the European Commission Against Racism and Intolerance will, for the first time, start working in the area of sexual orientation and gender identity in terms of looking at human rights violations specifically against LGBT people, and they're going to be visiting the UK in the second half of this year. So I think it's really important that various elements of civil society engage with them so that they get a good sense of what's happening on the ground here, which will also have an impact in other countries in Central and Eastern Europe, hopefully, in terms of getting some more policy on the ground there.